12:10. 12:09, 12:10. This is an early episode of the Wrestling Re-Up podcast. An hour off of the most recent boutique episode of SmackDown. We'll talk about that. Early grades, spoiler. What would you rate SmackDown off of RIP? That we just watched live casually. Yeah. But we did watch live.
Did I grade? I did grade. Mid-show, I'd say a mid-rising show, like a B.
Okay.
Yeah, at least definitely a flat B, at least.
There was a couple times where, again, we're watching on the tablet.
I would say maybe a B+.
Use up the main screen here outside. And you wanted to raise up the volume for SmackDown, which, again, when we change the volume from what we're listening to for the people that are listening and watching,
just pop the balloon most of the time.
That means that we actually have an intrigue in listening to this. But you did that at least 2 times.
Yeah, and both of those things were, I know I didn't write down the other things. The other one was a match, but it was like, wasn't it? It was the Trick, Carmelo, and
Sammy and Cody.
Yeah. Was there a match in there around the U.S. title? I know Ricky came out.
The U.S. title match was... No, there was a AAA title.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
But we'll get into SmackDown. That was early, but you said you give it a B off rep.
Yeah, because
we'll obviously dive into it deeper, and maybe you might adjust your grades. But why are we starting this episode at 12 o'clock on a Friday, Saturday night?
Because I'm always the extrovert out of all of my friends, and I called my shot, and I said, if the Knicks, so far this series has gone exactly the way that I said that it would go.
What series? Because what are we talking about?
We're talking about the NBA Finals right now.
Okay.
And the Knicks are up 3-1. They lost Game 3. I mean, since last episode. Since last episode.
Deserved to lose Game 4.
Yeah. So since last episode, the Knicks lost the first game at home at Madison Square Garden, Game 3.
Yes.
And then they had the greatest comeback. Arguably immediately one of the greatest NBA playoff games just in history. But by any metric, by just counting points, the greatest comeback in NBA playoff history. They came back 29 points down and beat the Spurs 107-106, I believe was the final score. And I said it before where I was like, yo, if it goes the way that I think it's going, we might have to call an audible and go up to New York. So that's exactly what the fuck is happening. I think this series is closing out tonight. Later tonight, Saturday night.
Saturday, 8:30 p.m., possible 10:30.
By 11 o'clock, this game will be closed out. Yes, because I think that'll be around 11:15.
The game starts at 8:30. You know it's a final, so they have it extended.
It'll be 11:15 when the game is over. But yeah, assuming that it's not a blowout either way and we're going down to the wire, I think this game is closed out here in San Antonio, and we going up to New York to celebrate with the people.
Half of the arena is sold out from Knicks fans and Knicks people with New York zip codes. Mm-hmm. And so,
like the watch party inside of Madison Square
Garden? I'm talking about at San Antonio.
Oh, San Antonio's arena.
Arena is 50% sold out of Knicks fans.
Yeah, they got money. It's New York.
It was like that for game 1 and 2. But yeah, like again, no, I'm a Wizards and a Lakers fan. And I don't really care, but I have love for New York. I lived there for 5 years. I lived in Brooklyn. I know a lot of New York fans, both living in Virginia, because there's a lot of New York transient people that live here.
Yeah.
That are Knicks fans or have New York affiliations, whether it be Jets or the Giants or whatever it may be, or again, I'm a Yankees fan as well. Knicks fans are arrogant as fuck. They're just as arrogant as Cowboys fans, but they're not as annoying as Cowboys fans. Where like they again, it's been said, I feel like on Basketball Illuminati, Knicks fans are unbearable, but the Knicks team is lovable.
Mm. No, that's absolutely true. Everybody loves the little guy, and the best guy on the court is Jalen Brown.
That's the thing that I'm most annoyed about this game. Like, as I want at this point, the Spurs deserve to lose because you don't give up 30 points. So I as much as I want this to go to Game 7 and possibly I want the Wemby. I only root for the Spurs as a Lakers fan because I'm like, yo, Wemby's dope, and like I'm here for the Wemby era, and I'm like for him to win the championship at 22, like let the Wemby era start. Why we gotta wait till he's 27, 28?
Last bit on this because we don't want to extend it out too much.
Yeah, okay.
But the biggest jewel,
because we definitely got a road trip coming.
Yeah, the biggest jewel on LeBron's crown is the 3-1 comeback, right? He's the only one to come back 3-1.
Kyrie
in the finals. Right?
Kyrie.
Well, yeah, regardless, whatever. But
you said only one.
With that being said, even still, Wembanyama is the alien, right? So if there was any generational talent that could possibly do it, come back from a 3-1, only 3 years in the league, literally first year in the playoffs, you're in the finals. Hey, I mean, obviously he's the one to do it. So it's not like they're counted out.
Like,
it's not like they're counted out.
I wanted to say this last week, but I didn't.
Like
say it. I want to put this on record. I've always felt, for some reason, Wemby is going to pull a 60 in the Garden in this fight.
Okay, 60.
I thought it was going to happen. I didn't say it, but in my mind, I thought like for some
game
reason,
6. So that just means
I thought between 3 and 4, he was going to pull a 60 in the Garden.
Yeah,
he got 32, but still, for some reason,
so that is
like that's how much I feel like that's this nigga. Like I don't blame him for like you talked about earlier when we were talking about earlier in the day that like yeah he missed 2 free throws. I'm like yeah, but De'Aaron Fox had the ball with less than 10 seconds, up by 1. You don't need to go up for the layup. As much as he might thought he might get a foul or whatever he thought he was going to get, he was faster than
he thought he was going to outrun him. That's what the quote is. That's what he said. I thought I was going to outrun him.
It doesn't matter. That is stupid.
Yep.
Yeah, Wemby missed 2 free throws. You were still up by 1. And all you have to do is run it out. They were going to intentionally foul you. You make at least 1 free throw. At least 1 to be up by 2.
Yeah.
But at this point, it doesn't matter. At this point, like, you give up a 30-point lead, there's no way. You can start out with a 30-point lead. You're going to lose that shit in San Antonio in Game 6 or Game 5. You're going to lose it. You're going to lose it. Because, again, that they said on Basketball Illuminati, they're a better closer.
Yeah, they got
the Knicks are a better. The Knicks are a better closing team.
Right now, you can argue that Jalen Brunson is the best closer.
The Spurs and Wemby are getting battle scars. At least Wemby.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because De'Aaron Fox is definitely not going to be back on this team next year.
It's still battle scars for De'Aaron Fox too, because I like the thought of like
it's battle scars for everybody on the team, but he ain't going to be battle scars for the Spurs.
I just want to say, last bit on this. Let's start the show. But yeah, the Spurs are young. And it's not like De'Aaron Fox is used to winning anything in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So he's young in that sense, too. He ain't never been in that position.
It is what it is, but I'm excited for this road trip. Let's start this show.
Doors opening. Step back to allow customers to exit.
The crowd is a homage paid. And you're from my name.
Partner. Bro.
Weekly stroll through the avenue of wrestling.
Follow us here on this YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe, follow everything at the
Episode 101 of the Wrestling Re-Up podcast. Obviously, 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we got.
We ain't even look up the fun facts of it, but we'll do it from 102 because
we lit, so bear with us because we had a long intro.
Hey, but yes, 101 of the Wrestling Re-Up podcast. You're getting something we haven't done since probably like the early episodes because I feel like we haven't had an early Friday episode like this
in a while.
Probably like episode.
This is Saturday 20. Technically.
Yeah,
a very early Saturday. That's all.
Still,
we're 10 hours early.
We are a week off of a very wrestling loaded filled week of wrestling with Slammiversary from TNA, Forbidden Door from AEW, and we have a Saturday Night's main event. And
is that all this week?
And no, next week.
Oh yeah,
NXT
okay.
Great American Bash.
Yeah.
as well.
Week.
All next week. So we have some stuff, King of the Ring tournaments, but so let's get into our flagship show, Monday Night Raw.
All right. So right now, we both had the primo as I guess I beat you to it, but yeah, Penta retaining against Rey Mysterio in their first match, which well, not their first match, but first match in WWE singles, and then bringing up the fact that it's or I was listening to forgive me, Masked Man, and bring up they were both on the All In card. That was the last time that they actually had a one-on-one match. They were both on All In before AEW was AEW.
Yeah,
and it was just All In.
Yeah.
Their very first show, which was called All In. They wrestled each other.
I didn't even know Ray was independent like that.
Yeah, he was on Lucha Underground at that point in time.
Okay.
But yeah, no, this was a great match, and I'm sure this was everything that Penta wanted. This is his hero. He said that multiple times. However much you watch Penta and his out of kayfabe, still wearing the mask, interviews, like when he's working out with Sheamus and stuff like that. But also this leading into basically the continued redemption of Chad Gable. Like last week, we got the run-in from him, like making the save, and who had Rusev. It was Rusev that came down. Rusev and Ethan Page that came down. Wait, was it this week or am I thinking last week?
This week.
Oh, that was this week. I don't know. I keep saying last
Rusev
week.
took off the mask.
The mask.
Mysterio.
Yeah.
First, Dragon Lee came out. He tried to do some things, kind of got some things done, but eventually got taken out.
Yeah, he made his apology last week, and now it's continuing. That's why.
No, he did it this week too as well. He apologized to Penta.
Yeah, and he was like, "If you want to make good with the luchadors, then you know who you need to talk to," which was Rey Mysterio, and even Dragon Lee. He was like, "I know you took my mask off, but we're good, whatever." And but yeah, with that was I thought like that this was so good, and like the Chad Gable spot is honestly so hot. Like I mean, I'm putting this in primo, but I don't think WWE sees this as primo as like when we talk about fantasy booking, like him possibly being a world heavyweight champion or whatever, being a contender. It's like this should have closed the show, in my opinion.
No,
like that.
I wouldn't agree with that.
No, well, I mean, it's just an episode of Raw.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like I'm doing all that much, but I'm just saying the dramatic effect of like keeping the heat with like the El Grande Americano and like keeping him a serious contender for the world heavyweight spot. That's what I would do. That's what I'm saying.
I understand where you're coming from. I don't agree with you in the sense that they haven't built up the lucha aspect of what is happening on AAA crossing over to main television.
I hear you on that.
And so that's where I'm like, you can't put that
dumb.
as the main event when you have Seth Rollins. I guess Talatanga is not a real serious competitor. Ricky Saints. And
world heavyweight. So Roman. That's
but this
Roman's
is the
title.
King of the Ring title, like qualifying match, like what I'm saying, like to advance.
No, this was the IC title.
I'm talking about the Seth Rollins, Ricky Saints, Talatanga.
Oh, okay.
And I forget who the fourth member of that match was.
Not LA Knight. Who was this?
Yeah, it was. I think it was LA Knight.
No, Javon won.
Javon
beat Ricky, Tala, and Seth. Yeah.
Like the reason I have this, I agree. I have this in primo, but it's more of like predictability. And if they didn't have the Chad Gable aspect of it, it would have been mid standing at the line to primo.
Yeah.
But I think with the Chad Gable of it, because the match itself, excellent.
Yeah.
They Ray 51, you don't even believe it.
Amazing.
You don't even believe it. He don't even look like a bit, like personally. And then you see him actually get in the ring and boogie.
And take a Mexican destroyer.
Don't even look like he's 51 years old.
Yeah.
Amazing match with Penta. Predictable, which would have left it in mid, but again, mixed in with the Chad Gableness of it, primo.
For me, it's still match quality. I would have put this still here regardless. I had this here regardless, similar to like an AEW spot where it's like I'm not going to penalize this for the predictability because the match was so good.
I'm not really penalizing.
I'm not going to penalize it for that. And then also,
I guess I am penalizing.
And then yeah, exactly. And then what my thought is, like I said, I'm adding extra, making
Yeah.
him, if we were to book him that way. But obviously WWE doesn't see him that way.
I mean,
But either way,
again, don't disagree. Like, even like I said, I actually like I'll adjust my opinion. It would have been Primo by itself.
because right now,
It would have been standing over the line of Primo, just off match itself. Then you have the Chad Gable. It certifies itself as a Primo.
because notwithstanding, the only person I can think of is Daniel Bryan. When you think of like, literally the storyline was you're a B level player.
Mm-hmm.
But that's honestly what I think that WWE thinks of him. So he's gonna have to like overcome that like glass ceiling of whatever that is on him.
Yeah.
For him to at least become I think right now he should still at least be a contender on a B level pay-per-view, whatever that would be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, I wouldn't believe him beating Roman. But hitting some diving headbutts and some, arms clasped, German suplexes.
He's winning the IC title.
Like,
he's winning the IC title with Lucha Help.
Yeah, I think, and really, last bit, actually, I want to move on from this because we chewed on this way too much. But this is the best thing going on Raw. Because I know, Bloodline's in a holding period effectively.
Is it?
I mean, well, Roman hasn't been on.
We'll talk about it next.
That's why I'm just saying Roman wasn't on the show. So that's why it's a holding period. But not Roman. Ray said in that segment, he was like, "Hey, I know you're apologizing to me, but I think you need to look back further in your history because you might have done some things that were even wrong further back." And I'm sitting there thinking like really bad, and I'm like, "Dang, what is this?" And I'm like, "Oh, not American Alpha. The Alpha Babes. What's their names? Otis, Akira Tozawa,
Alpha Academy.
Alpha Academy. There we go.
Alpha Babes is a name though.
Yeah, well, because I think Maxine wears that shirt.
Okay.
But yeah, or they rebranded Alpha Babes after he left. But yeah, he needs to apologize to Alpha Academy. I think he's winning the IC title, not with Lucha help, but at least like we need to have that like reconciliation with Otis because Otis is like Loki. He's the meat, the leader of that. So like he needs to reconcile with Otis, and I think him being a face again, yes, he will win the IC title with like. I could see Otis lifting him up and like Maxine and them there. That'd be dope. But yeah, that was the best thing on the show. The other mids I had the segment of I called it Jey Uso calling the shots.
There were
two bits. Yeah, I just Jey Uso.
And I lean more towards the not the LA Knight, the Seth Rollins promo.
The Seth Rollins and
Jacob
in the
back.
Jacob. Yeah,
not over the LA Knight.
Yeah. So backstage, we ended up getting Jey Uso confronting Seth Rollins in the locker room, and saying like, "Hey, you was talking shit about my family. Like, hey, that's a big issue over here." And he's like, "I wasn't even talking about your family. I was talking about your cousin, one person specifically, Roman, who keeps manipulating people and sending his dogs out here like you right now." And then Jay's like, "I'm tired of this shit. Beat his ass, Jacob." And then Jacob like, "Hey, I didn't bend the knee to you, bitch ass nigga. Like the fuck you talking about? I do what I want around here. Like you."
And that's the best part. That's the best part.
So it's still friction.
Because LA Knight talking that talk, and he making a lot of sense out here.
Yeah.
But Jay coming out winded as fuck, bro. It ain't hit.
Yeah.
It ain't hit. That's why I'm like, the Seth stuff hit harder with me than the LA Knight.
Yeah. Yeah, and then in the LA Knight segment, it's just the King of the Ring, basically. Like, I did like that. I mean, he was tired. It's funny because he almost like, I believe Jay leans into it at this point because it's like he is hyped, but like by the end of the segment, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Because he's like,
you gotta get
your one wonder shot. Like, wow. Like he says that at the end.
He's got to get his cardio up if he's gonna do that.
And like I said, that was over a year ago. That Triple H, we seen that on Unreal.
Yeah, on Unreal. Yeah.
So it's like I think this was maybe I want to say a bad night because
that's every night.
I mean, maybe, but yeah, sure. I was trying to shoot him some bail, but yeah. We had the Queen of the Ring qualifier. I think they should have made more of a big deal of Liv being in the tournament. But the note here is that Liv actually won this Fatal 4 qualifying match. She beat Chelsea, Becky, and Alexa Bliss. I mean, she is the Women's World Heavyweight Champion. So, as I mentioned off pod, that I was like, we haven't seen it, the king or queen of the ring tournament be, I don't know, we've seen them be entered, but like won by the champion.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be dope to see, like, you know, she pulls an Okada and she's like, I won the tournament, bitch. Like, oh, y'all mad that I haven't wrestled a match in, 5 months or 3 months? I'm gonna wrestle these, fatal 4-way, this, semifinals and the finals, put this crown on my head, and then chill for another 3 months. Yeah, and challenge Rhea.
And be double champ.
Exactly. Like that's fire for her if she is able to pull that off.
I get
this
that.
This was a good match.
But I was a little bit higher on the men's King of the Ring, fatal 4-way of Javon, Seth, Tama, and Ricky Saints. Obviously, Tama is clearly not winning this.
Mm-hmm.
But you can never sleep on Seth, obviously. He's face of the company.
Yeah.
Ricky, young up-and-comer, but so is Javon. And so, kind of surprised Javon won a little bit, honestly. And I think the fact that Liv is champ, again, a little bit of predictability, like, champ's not losing.
I honestly wouldn't have had her winning in that fatal 4-way. I wouldn't have had her taking the pin, but I wouldn't have had her winning.
I can see that as well, but again, I can understand WWE's booking, and it's no fault to them. They still.
That's what I'm saying. They should have made a bigger deal
I did
about
also enjoy the match more of the men's a little bit. That's honestly like the interference with Braun Breaker and Seth and Austin Theory. Yeah, it's a little bit predictable.
Mm-hmm.
It worked. Like every time Braun Breaker hits a spear, it's just like it just worked.
Yeah. And last bit on the women, the Queen of the Ring. As I'm watching this match, I'm like, bro, you know who could fucking use a crown and possibly be the greatest royal person ever? Like, honestly, up to the level of King Booker would be Chelsea Green.
Oh,
Chelsea Green could have pinned Alexa in this match, and going forward could have, like, miracle run, obviously.
Even Becky, though.
There would have been a miracle run. But, like, I wouldn't have had her winning at SummerSlam, obviously. That's why you don't book it, because it's not, like, that much. But, like, just the visual of her having a crown and a scepter and leaning into the gimmick, she would fucking kill it. Like, the last mid I had up here was...
you had this as a mid, and I had this as a shake.
Yeah. Sol Ruka retaining the IC title over Lyra. Just too good of a match. That's why it's mid. Yeah, it is predictable.
Not even predictable. It is obviously predictable, but it's also a little sloppy. And I think that's just been consistency of.
Granted, I'll be watching the clips, so you be watching Raw live more than.
And I'll be trying to watch a longer episode, moments of it as well.
Yeah. So.
And there
the highlights they obviously added, so it does look smooth.
It's not anything against any of these women. It's just more of just like you just like Sol Ruka hasn't had the opportunity to actually like work with these women on a regular basis to kind of like build a repertoire.
Yeah.
That like I think it's more of WWE's like creative booking as far as like the production of this match, where they want to have Sol pull these what's her finisher name?
Soul Snatcher.
Soul Snatchers.
Mm-hmm.
Like out of like nowhere, and it's like let her just hit it normally.
Yeah.
Because right now you putting her trying to pull it out of nowhere.
Yeah, like an RKO.
It requires a little bit more, smoothness to it that we're not getting. That's making her look bad.
Yeah.
Because she's not a bad wrestler. It's just like, it's just not hitting in the way that you guys are imagining it hitting in live action.
Yeah.
And again, that's just, I chalk that at more to not any of their abilities to hit it smoothly. It's more just like you just don't have the repertoire built in with these women. Like if you did
the chemistry isn't built in.
Yeah, if you did it with Kalani or like someone that you've worked with in
Zarya.
NXT,
yeah,
like Zarya.
Yeah,
it will look clean as fuck. But you haven't worked with Lyra. You haven't worked with Becky.
Yeah.
To be able to hit this smooth. So that's why I put it mostly in shake. But like obviously like entertaining, good match, predictable, yes. Sloppy as well.
Yeah. My last note up here was the start of the show. Was the Oba and Dominic promo,
Yeah.
which I borderline put this in mid just because Dominic was so good in this. And Oba, just stating his claim, like, I'm going to win the King of the Ring, yada, yada. And then, Dominic coming out like, no, I'm going to win it. JD hitting Oba with a steel chair in the back. And he no-sells it because he's a fucking tank. And the actual
Dominic.
bar, shot puts Dominic, but the actual bar being Rey Mysterio might be your father, and then which was great.
But
and then
I'm your daddy.
Yeah, he was like, but I'm gonna be your daddy. But before he says that, in the dead air, off mic, you can hear Dominic saying, "No, he's not."
Yeah.
like Dominic just being great, leaning into it. So yeah, that was
Yeah.
the shade.
Honorable champion of the week, honestly, for Oba on that is Arnold Schwarzenegger and Kindergarten Cop. Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Yeah. Okay.
To
Cool.
Oba for that promo.
All right.
That is it for the flagship. Unless you have anything left over.
No, that's it.
Let's go over to the bodega, and I'll start this off.
This was show of the week.
That's what I have in the title.
That's not a hot take.
This might be specifically NXT show of their year so far.
Yeah. Maybe for their year.
Like, and this is more of just like they've just been in a transitional period.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a lot of primos in this.
And honestly,
when do you want to start off?
Let's start with Daria beating Tatum because honestly,
I have this as a primo. You have this as a mid.
Well, that's why I want to start there because I was on the fringe with this honestly because as I'm watching it, it's a primo because I thought it went exactly the way that it should have went with like her being super dominant and stuff like that. This is predictability, which is why it's in mid. That's the only reason. So that's where I'm like, it's at the top of mid touching primo. Because now I feel like we can get we can gain on this momentum. And like you said, with her using the F5, you said, I don't think she got blessed by Brock Lesnar, but when she does the spear and hits an F5 and all of these things, she is very much so female Brock Lesnar reminiscent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So this is her time to go on her run. But as far as like a solo thing, I still enjoyed like her and like the last two matches she had with Soul were dope as fuck. Even like the last woman standing.
Yeah.
This would still be a primo, I guess. Because like I said, we're just kind of where I was sitting at. That's the only reason that I was there was the predictability. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Again, I slightly disagree with you on the predictability aspect of it because, like,
really?
I not knowing the post match that wasn't covered. Apparently, Tatum afterwards was giving her final goodbyes to the crowd and everything like that. So, like, she looks like she might be possibly caught up.
Oh, okay.
I would have not been like I didn't know that until after the fact.
Yeah, I didn't know that until you just told me now.
Prior to that, yeah, I would have not believed that Tatum would have retained because it's like you're 2 weeks off or at least a week off.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have another NXT episode, before Great American Bash that like Tatum is not losing this title on regular television.
Yeah,
that the fact that
I can see what you mean with the scheduling. It's a week and a half before. Yeah.
To the main roster. That's crazy.
I wasn't even thinking about main roster.
And that's not even knowing even before even knowing main roster. Like it's even like, I probably would have leaned Tatum to retain this title because I just don't think she's gonna lose this title on TV like this.
Okay. But
it's not that. That's a slightly because I'm not surprised Zaria would win it as well.
Yeah.
So I don't I slightly disagree with you. I lean more that Tatum would have retained. But I'm not surprised. I'm semi-surprised that Zaria won the title.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The way that she won the title is the way where I'm like,
yes,
that's why for me it's primo because, like I said, I think she got blessed because everybody knows the F5 is Brock Lesnar's move. That's ingrained. It's like doing a stunner. It's like, bro, you know Kevin Owens had to get the blessing from Stone Cold to do the stun. So I believe Zarya got the blessing to do the F5.
Is Brock
She pulls that off so well. The spear and the F5 is a great combo for her, and she hits it off perfect.
What do you think that conversation went like when Zarya talked to Brock? That's all I'm trying to figure out. Because I'm like, you say she got blessed, and I'm like, that's the only thing that I can't picture. Because it's like I'm willing to believe your premise, but I don't know how that conversation goes. That's all. But I agree with you still that this is up to this point probably one of NXT shows of the year, especially like since they've been in their reshuffling period. But to get to the other primos that I definitely agree with you on, I had Fraxium and beating Noam Dar and Romeo Moreno.
Yeah.
Which I thought this was funny because on Masked Man's Shoes, he was like, that is the most like generate a wrestler name I've ever heard in my life.
Sure.
Like
for sure.
Yeah. But he's fucking great though, man. This was just like basically a strictly
it's a showcase.
A strictly work match.
Yeah,
and
this
that's
was
like
a showcase
amazing.
for specifically Romeo Moreno. And like if you didn't recognize it last week in his speed matchup, against Lexus King. You definitely realized it this matchup. And then Axiom gave him their props and basically told Noam Dar and Romeo Moreno, like, yo, you guys
y'all are dope. Yeah.
You are a dope tag team. Y'all should stick together.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, Primo, especially as far as like, again, as far as the new transition period that they're going through for NXT specifically, Lizzie Rain was the first to hit. Mason Rooks, tweener.
Yeah.
Romeo Moreno is up there with Lizzie Rain as far as like the new generation that I'm fucking with.
Oh, you're interested. Okay.
Yeah.
The other primo we had was Kendall getting
Tristan
the win
Angel
over
as well.
over Kaylani.
Sorry.
And,
that's
the
top of my show for me. Like they killed it. They absolutely killed it. Yeah. They're both talented individually, and then
like Kendall wrestling at the beginning.
They've had matches prior to this where like you felt like they just weren't clicking or they were holding back, but this match, that chain wrestling, especially near the end to end that match.
Yeah, that always dope. Yeah. That's that stuff that only like Kurt Angle, Daniel Bryan.
You can tell like the height of Kendall Gray is.
Oh, it's real.
Obviously, it was real when it first came out, and then Kalani, like the only thing that she really needs to work on is just being a heel, which she's currently doing, and I think she's been doing well. You know what I'm saying? Like, is she hit her mark as like Trick? Not quite yet, but I'm not saying she's not too far off of it.
Mm-hmm. And then for the mid, we agreed on this was Nadaku getting the win over Mason Rook. In a number one contenders match.
Great match. Mason Rooks is obviously shown you since he's debuted when he did the backflip off the top rope.
I mean, it's agile.
He's agile for as big as a man, and
he's at least 330.
Portly.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like as you would say, I think that's kind of what throws me off with him. Where I'm like,
I like it. Oh, I like it. Like a big. That's like Bam Bam Big Villa, or you know what I'm saying? Like
Bam look like more muscle than this.
Sure, but regardless, I'm just saying.
He looks like another dude that I've seen.
I'm talking about the agility
that I've never heard of until this week.
I'm talking about the agility for a man his size. That's what I'm talking about. Because Bam Bam was doing shit that we were like, what the fuck? Like, he was doing moonsaults and stuff too. So seeing a guy that big is always impressive.
Bam Bam was in better shape
even
fucking Mason
Ivar. Ivar, it's the doom salt.
That's Ivar is better shape than Mason Rooks.
I think he has more of a belly, but yeah. Either way. And then the last bit, the Shakes. I had Shiloh Hill winning Mr. NXT in the pageant over Tristan Angels.
Honestly, this would have been Reggie for me if it wasn't for two things. And I mentioned this pre-show. Kit Wilson
Yeah.
as a judge. I did not like how they decided the final.
Oh, excuse me.
But this is also biased, so I'm like, I just not a Charlotte Hill guy.
Yeah.
It's
Sure.
nothing against Charlotte Hill. It's just like his character just does not work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I also, that's why my second point. That's why I also like Tristan Angels, because I do fuck. I like Tristan Angels. Like interesting. He's like, again, I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up replacing.
Lexus King.
No, Kent Wilson's part.
Elton Prince. Yeah.
Because he did say, "You're like, yes, boy,"
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like we haven't heard Kent Wilson. I feel like say that in a while.
Mhm.
Then I'm like, maybe that's a tease that he might be,
Catchphrase. Yeah. Exactly.
He might be his
He's
his,
admiring him. He is a heel too in persona, so it's like, oh, that makes sense.
and it
And he'd be
works.
supporting Tristan,
So
yeah.
it's like, bro, those two things is what keeps it in shake. Outside of that, if those two things weren't involved, or at least one
Reggie,
at least one of those two things weren't involved, it would have been in Reggie.
Yeah, then my last thing that I had on Shake was Saquon's continued vengeance. Because
I
being down
enjoyed
Dark
that as
State,
well.
yeah, Dion Lennox had a match against I forget
More so,
Jasper
like,
Troy.
I enjoy that. That's a shake as well. I
Yeah.
enjoy that primarily because of Saquon.
Yeah, that's he's my
the
favorite. He's the best part of Dark
of
State.
it
Yeah.
is not as interesting as more of Saquon because he's just charismatic.
I believe Dion Lennox at this point, but even still, Saquon was
way
always the best.
Saquon is the more charismatic person.
He is more. He's way better.
He's the only person that's keeping me engaged in that storyline.
Yeah.
Other than that, if you had the same storyline with Dion Lennox and someone that wasn't Saquon,
yeah,
I would not care about this. This
Yeah.
would not be in my list. Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about Bodega? The best Bodega experience we had this year?
No, that's it. We should leave it on that.
Let's start over to another good show. Really good show, I think. I would say we
Really
don't have any
mid-show for
primos.
them, honestly.
We don't have a primos, but we have a really good show in Dynamite, the coffee shop.
Yeah,
what do you want to start with?
The Swerve. I mean, Swerve returning into the ring.
Yeah, I would say that's the primo because I was like, we haven't seen Swerve actually wrestle probably since
Bandito. It was Bandito. He beat was the last time he wrestled.
Yeah,
that was a while Double ago. Or Nothing. Yeah,
that was a while ago. Mm-hmm. So, it's good to see him back. I didn't realize because how is he? Did he have like a first week bye? Because they basically guaranteed him a shot to have Ospreay in the finals at Forbidden Door. So
I feel like he beat somebody else. I feel like
he had to.
Yeah. It was before,
or that again. Unless he had a first week bye or some shit, but he had to have a win before this.
Yeah, he did, and then beating Brody King here. Predictable was I think most of these things were, which is hence why it's in mid. But yeah, enjoyed that match.
Again, it's predictable because of our other mid, which it was Sky Blue losing to Maya World.
I had that as a shake. Honestly.
I had this as a mid because again, the surprise of Maya World, who was a injury replacement.
Yeah.
And getting the win over Sky Blue, is this a Kofi Mania?
No. She's a Ring of Honor. Ain't nothing happening with her. She ain't Athena, my nigga. Athena's from Ring of Honor, so
yeah,
that's why it falls into shake. I see this as
if he ends up facing Athena for the Owen Hart Women's Championship and wins it, who's to say? Tony Khan's crazy, right?
Yeah, he's nuts.
So again, unless you're trying to pull something, but again, it was just I have that as a mid, as well for just the surprise of it. And then it was again great match. I thought I really enjoyed it. They especially near the end, they started slow. They picked it up in the middle and the end, and they really killed it. My World again, one of the few matches that I'm familiar with the name, but probably one of the first or few matches that I've actually seen her wrestle.
Yeah,
I was like, no, Sky Blue. They both put it on, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and for me, another one that we disagreed on, I put this in my mid. You had it in shake. Was Andrade versus Orange Cassidy,
Yeah,
Andrade getting the win.
Yeah, why did you have it as a mid?
And I forget what he fucking calls it, but there's a name for that kick up spinning elbow now. That's a finisher
For Andrade
or
or
a signature. For Andrade.
Okay.
You know, he kicks up or because he hit him with that into the DM because the DM is actually his finisher and pins him clean. But really, this was also about the momentum of the story of Andrade, where I liked the segment of we get the confrontation of like, you know, the new shiny toy is Kevin Knight inside the Don Callis family. And Andrade's like, hey, what's going on with my title shot? And he's like, hey, I promise you're going to get it. Because we know Don Callis is a slimy bastard. So I'm sure he could be just straight up lying to Andrade's face. But I think there's got to be an Andrade Kevin Knight match coming at some point, like pretty soon. And honestly, this match was just still too good. And even the gimmick of like the gimmick at the beginning of the match when they start like the original feel out wrestling and then they stand off and Andrade pulls his trunks off and then Orange Cassidy pulls his jeans off and it's tearaway jeans and he has more jeans underneath it. It's like
that was a fun
that's a great. And Don Callis is like, that's gimmick infringement on commentary.
The match itself between Andrade and Orange Cassidy.
That's at least a mid.
Specifically, the physical contact between them. That's a primo. That's not a primo. That's a mid. I'm sorry, Leo. I'm sorry.
Oh, the Leo Rush spot? You didn't like that? Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, like the Black Heart? Yeah.
I didn't care for any of it.
More gimmick infringement.
Yeah, it was just like... It was just so unnecessary.
Yeah.
And I hate to be like, that was... like, and it's not... like, I just like... Leo Rush in his current gimmick is way better than Shiloh Hill.
Absolutely.
But it's like a speed match where I'm like, it's just like something just is like Luther's curl. It just
having him there made it feel like a speed.
It's like it has a little bit of a start of a curl, but I just don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
Not fuck with it, but like it just doesn't fully hit with.
Yeah.
I get what he's doing. It's entertaining, but like it's just also I feel like
it brings it down a notch.
It just doesn't. It just feels like it's just like weird shit to throw into a match, and I'm like, bro, just let these niggas get off, bro. Like you could have had everything without it, and it almost would have been a primo.
I mean, I know you get
like,
it.
For me, it was just like, it ain't nothing. Like I like Leo's gimmick, but like, what is the point? I get like Orange Cassidy is weirded out by Leo, and then like you throw in Andrade trying to get who always gets like
it's gimmick infringement.
You know,
like
I get it. I get what they were trying to do. I'm just like, bro, like let's just let these niggas fucking get off. That's all I wanted.
I hear you. The last thing I had up here was Moxley retaining the Continental title as a
shake. And this is where I bring up the Mason Rooks kind of comparison where I'm like, Shane Taylor. Never heard of you, bro.
Ring of Honor. He's the head of Shane Taylor Promotions, which
never heard of you, bro.
2-time.
And then everybody that came out, never heard of you.
2-time.
There's one
Ring
black
of Honor
woman on there that's part of that team. Oh, like yo, you fine as fuck.
Yeah,
but
she's the B-Fab.
Yeah, she's fine. But honestly, like R.I.P. Mac Miller just got off the streets. I never even heard of you, bro. Bro, I was like, obviously. Mox is not losing this match. And then again, like physical tight, fitness, Mason Rooks and Shane Taylor look exactly alike. Where I'm like, this dude looks like more.
Boys,
they look more. He looks more as like he looked more like an indie wrestler than someone that
would be on the main. Yeah, exactly. That's why he's on Ring of Honor. Because they're a staple in Ring of Honor, the Shane Taylor promotion.
Are they? Okay.
2-time Ring of Honor Trios champions. And I can't remember right now, but like homie he was on AEW Dark. Like he really
I'm not dismissing their talent.
But
because he definitely has cardio and he kept up his weight.
Wheeler Yuta for the Pure Championship. I just can't remember his name right now. It's not Anthony Johnson, but it's another guy. I can't remember. But he beat Wheeler Yuta in the Pure title. So they got some success in Ring of Honor, you know, if you're able to actually
that's my ignorance. Yeah. I'll take that. But like, I was like, bro,
But
I ain't even
that's
heard
it
it, bro.
from the coffee shop. Let's move over to the Book of Wrestling.
Okay. Gallery, 2 items on showcase. What do you want to start off with?
I'll start off with the oldest one. I mean, this is King of the Ring season, so I felt like this was just good for synergy. But the first King of Ring pay-per-view was this week, or today, actually. Or, well, it would have been yesterday. This is Saturday now, but June 12th, 1993, WWE presented the first ever King of the Ring pay-per-view from the Nutter Center in Dayton, Ohio. The centerpiece of the show was an 8-man tournament to crown the King of the Ring after 3 classic matches against Razor Ramon, Mr. Perfect, and Bam Bam Bigelow. Bret Hart was declared the winner. His crowning ceremony was ruined by Jerry the King Lawler, who attacked Hart and began an on-off rivalry against him that lasted a number of years. And the other major happening on the show was Yokozuna beating Hulk Hogan. And for the WWE Championship, his last match until he came back in 2002. So, pretty significant. There you go.
Hey.
King of the Ring. It's in season.
And it makes sense that Jerry Lawler would
yeah. He's like, I'm the king, bitch.
Yeah. So,
and then the other one in the gallery that I got called it AJ's first title, AJ Styles. June 10th, 2003, at NWA TNA weekly pay-per-view taping in Nashville, Tennessee, AJ defeated Jeff Jarrett and Raven in a 3-way match to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship for the first time. So that's his first world championship is in Tennessee in 2003. It's like
Raven and who?
Jeff Jarrett.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like that's the early days of NWA TNA.
And what year was that?
03.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's TNA, but they had the NWA title. Yeah,
exactly.
For sure. That's just awesome.
But yeah, that was it for the gallery. On to the boutique, which we were watching right before here.
Fresh off the boutique.
Yeah.
We spoiled it a little bit. You gave it a B+, but let's actually go through the card. And what did you like about
Let me bring up the Bleacher Report because I really did enjoy the Cody and Sammy promo the most. Getting, Sammy to call out Cody and being like, hey, turn off like the gimmick, just talk to me as a person, be honest with me, you're clearly holding back. And he's like, oh, you want me to be honest with you? I can't turn this off. Like, this is professional wrestling. What do you mean? And I'll be honest with you, like, they're booing you because he didn't say you're a bitch, but he said because you've been whining and complaining. And I forgot what the stinging like last barb was, but basically he said something that got under Sammy's skin. And everybody was like, ooh, all the way up to the point so much that Sammy slaps Cody and immediately apologizes after like a 3 to 5 second delay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh shit, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean that. Like, right after Chris Brown hit Rihanna. That's exactly the apology that she got.
That's what you wish you thought.
That's what.
Damn
he
well
was like,
baby,
I didn't mean that, baby.
Like, thank you, sir.
But yeah,
Chris Brown fan here, obviously.
But yeah, then Cody slapping him back and being like, "Hey, we even now? We even down, son of a bitch? Whatever." And like, we sort of get that sort of standoffish thing, between those two, all the way up, which would also lead us into like afterwards, Gunther naming his stipulation, being that Sami Zayn is going to be the special guest referee
for the title match next week.
Yeah, which is. Like, as I mentioned as we were watching it, I was glad that I turned it up at this point because I sniffed it out. I was like, that was amazing because for me, that felt like it was 2 parallel storylines with Cody going on. But we merged them together just perfectly in synergy. Of course, why wouldn't Gunther pick Sammy when he can see the tension that's happening, right in front of his face, So I didn't really enjoy it. That was the best thing on the show for me.
That was really good. I would not disagree with you on that as well. Again, like I love Sammy's T-shirt, the last good guy.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
And
Yeah,
then like again, the Bleach Report had an article. I told you about this. Bleach Report had an article about having WWE struggling having too many gray characters instead of defined heels and faces within their storylines that they're currently portraying.
yeah.
And I'm like, they might disagree with how some of the booking is going and some of the storytelling is going with some of these characters, but I'm like, I actually prefer it. Like,
Yeah.
I like Jay's.
I prefer it too.
I love Sammy's greatness. You know what I'm saying? Like, Strick, I wish he was a little bit more of a heel, but I get, like, if niggas are fucking with him, niggas are fucking with him. But Roman, the bloodline in general, like the Usos in general, is like Jacob.
I mean, the characters.
Like Seth is not really he's more of a face, but like it's hard
At this point, yeah.
You can understand, like, you know, Montez and Dawkins' hesitation, believing him and whatnot. I don't know. Like, I disagree. I would have to disagree with that article, but yeah.
I disagree with it too. But
I thought this was also really, really good from Sammy. As far as just like, yeah, Cody is a dick, bro. Cody is taking advantage. And again, I'm predicting for next week in that title match, Cody is going to do something that causes Sammy to regrettably count the 3.
maybe fast counts him out of spite. That'd be crazy.
No, he's not losing the title. I think Cody's retaining the title.
Yeah, yeah.
But Cody's going to do something that Sammy is going to, like, you know, morally disagree with.
Yeah.
And so, I'm intrigued. And do you think this eventually ends up with Sammy winning the title, or is this just another?
I mean, that's. I mentioned that. I don't know if I said that on pod last week, but I was like, how interesting would that be if Sammy, like, because he is the evergreen babyface, or always has been up until this point. So how much of a conflict would it be if he wins the title as maybe not a heel, but definitely way more the closest to a tweener and working heel in this sense that we've ever seen him. So I would say no still. I would think maybe this is a redemption similar to like Cena, where it's like he sees the error of his ways and wins the title. But hey, I'm still pulling for that, you know, but this character of Sammy, no. But I'm still enjoying it thoroughly. I'm liking it.
No disrespect. What else we got?
Wait, was Carmelo versus Ricky? Was that actually on this?
That was a fair 4-way. No. They had just had a conversation.
Oh, okay, that's what that was.
They had a verbal conversation.
Yeah. No, I did enjoy that. That's the next thing that was on top of my mind when Trick came out, because I was like, that was another time that I turned it up, because it might not be a primo, but like you said, there was only 2 times when I turned up the tablet, and that was one of them. When Trick came out, and I was like, oh, this is main character energy right here. Like, I gotta see what's going on. And basically, he's able to he's out there to like face off his, you know, next 2 competitors who are clearly like in here. And what I did mention was, I was like, yo, where's Ilya Dragunov? Because I'm like, this is a guy that should be, hopefully he's not hurt or something. I mean, granted, there's a lot of momentum with Trick and I guess this Rogues Gallery, but like, can't you just slide him right in here? Like, I guess he doesn't match really the aesthetic of like the black or leading black guys, you know, that are all around.
Ricky's black.
Is he black? Okay,
black.
Cool. All right,
He's black.
cool. So yeah, he doesn't match it because it's a Russian guy with black guys. So I'm like, maybe it's just that, and we're like, obviously we got to have that triple threat, you know. So, but Ilya, where's my guy? That was kind of what my thought was. I still enjoyed the segment though.
I would agree with you on that. Like, I probably have that as a mid. I do agree with you though on some of your other mids that we have here. We really have one primo. AAA defense.
Yeah.
Cruiserweight title. Ray Phoenix defends his title successfully against Axiom. I love the fact that, like, you know, yeah, like we wish we had a cruiserweight title of some sort.
Yeah.
And we're getting it through AAA. And like I said, like whether it be AAA or whatever fucking promotions that you end up buying, the fact that we're getting different types of wrestling presented to us,
Yeah.
and you can literally get a challenger that you've never seen before. Yeah, and again, we know Axiom is obviously a WWE roster guy, but the opportunity that you get to see within having a cruiserweight and then the match that they put on itself, mid, yeah, like mid rising. Like I hope they continue to do this, and we get to see people from AAA in the cruiserweight division challenge for this title.
Yeah, because Vikingo and Ray Phoenix would go crazy for a match for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so let's go. Like you know, it's just that's how you introduce a cruiserweight title into the WWE. That doesn't have to be the WWE cruiserweight title.
Yeah,
because the AAA title holds so much equity as far as being like a legitimate
cruiserweight championship. Yeah,
you don't have to build it. So,
for the other mids that I had was I guess the Queen and King of the Ring. So Charlotte and Jey both moved. I didn't put that on there, but Jey did win his King of the Ring Fatal 4-Way. Also, Charlotte won her.
What would you put higher?
Probably Charlotte. Charlotte winning.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. Maybe the predictability of Jey, especially with the ultimatum from Roman to, you know, win the King of the Ring, obviously kind of leans you into like for storyline purposes that Jey is going to win this. We both talked about as we were watching the Charlotte Jade Soul and Lyra match that like obviously it was an entertaining match. We really enjoyed it. But I think we predicted Lyra to win this match because we thought Jade and Charlotte were going to cancel each other out, and Soul had beat Lyra for the Intercontinental Championship on Monday. That Lyra had to get some get back that she would advance in this situation, but she didn't, and Charlotte ended up getting the win.
Yeah, I mean, granted that when we talk about predictability, this is why defining characters is so important to me because it's like the characters tell the story. It's not like you need the writers in the back to do it necessarily if you have a well-defined character because the history of the characters will tell the story. Like if Charlotte wins Queen of the Ring, then that's just Rhea and Charlotte again, which is like, hey, that's evergreen as much as we've seen that. You know what I'm saying? So nobody would be disappointed in that for a SummerSlam main event. And Jey, winning his match. Royce Keys. Who else was in this? I missed
LA Knight.
LA Knight. And let me bring up Bleacher Report. This is my fault.
I have it open.
But yeah, I don't have. I still got Oba winning the King of the Ring, regardless.
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. Yeah. So regardless, when he doesn't win, even if he was to, let's say he somehow because Rock shows up and he fucking F5s him and like Jey wins. He's still not beating Cody. So in my mind, it's still like you're gonna disappoint Roman, and then that puts you in position because like Jacob is off the leash with it, right? So he ain't listening to you already. So that puts Jey in position, like almost like knocks him down somewhat a peg because Jey is supposed to be the right hand man, and Jacob could rise to that right hand man, like we were talking about. Hopefully,
I was like, I mentioned this
tribal combat, like. But mid card underneath them.
Yeah, like, I mentioned this Roman. A couple of weeks ago. Like, I would not be surprised if Jey loses his right hand manness and to Jacob, and he feels slighted by that.
Yeah,
and like you know, you have this animosity that's obviously being built up right now, where like Jacob is not listening, as we saw earlier on Monday when he asks.
Jacob, not to his
when he asked Jacob to take out Seth, and he was like, just stared him down.
What?
And walked away.
Yeah.
If Jey ends up losing his right hand title to the tribal chief to Jacob, you know that Jey is going to ultimately, like, definitively, we talk about greatness within WWE. He's gonna be a definitive heel.
Right, or a definitive heel.
He's gonna be he's gonna be a definitive heel because you ended up losing the match. I feel like he would lose the match to Jacob, like off rip, like no bullshit.
Just get his ass beat. Yeah, by
You
Jacob.
lose to Jacob.
Yeah, clean.
And he's right now right-hand man
Mm-hmm.
to Roman Reigns, which you've had for the last like umpteenth years.
Yeah, yeah.
Jay is gonna be feeling about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something to talk about. But the other things I had up here on SmackDown was the women's tag team division. We got a baddies win over
Michin
Tiffany.
getting the win with goddamn
the Styles Clash.
Let's go. I'll put that in. I'll put that as mid just for that. Like, I was just so happy for.
I said in the moment, I was like, I don't know the last time I've seen Michin pin somebody. And then Shake,
Shout out to the Union.
Bree and Paige. I don't think this was for the titles.
It was.
It was? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, retaining the titles against Fatal Influence. The non-JCJ version. So that was SmackDown. It was fine, but NXT, similar. I know we said it before, but like kind of like
sorry, it was a non-title match.
It was one. Yeah. Okay. But similar to like the Browns or like any bad team, it's like, hey, you can't shout them out often.
Yo, yeah,
Again,
they always out of all the shows, they have the most difficult task because they are a feeder system,
developmental,
the main roster that like they're going through a transitional period. I brought it up back in February. I was like, hey, you guys are not hitting at the level that you were hitting last year. Obviously, you lost some people, but we didn't realize that was the beginning of them losing because they continue to lose people. I think they've passed that point. This is one of their better episodes. Maybe from this point on, they start feeling a little bit more consistent. I'm not a fan of Charlotte Hill, but I do like Zarya. I do like
Tristan Angels.
I do
Vanity
like
Project.
Huh?
Vanity Project.
They started off strong, fell off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Naraku is better than Mason Rooks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Though Mason Rooks being an English speaker, I think leans in more in his favor. But Lizzie Rain as well.
Yeah.
I like. But again,
well, I mean, we were just saying.
Apparently, we might be losing Tatum. How long does Kalani got? How long has Lil Vice got?
To make it a little bit more recent, I just said that I was like, you asked me, you were like, how long until it's a concern? That I'm not clicking with this roster. And then the very next week they put on the best show of the year up until this point. So
yeah, but
we'll see if they can click with it.
Have Kendall Gray, which she's going to be here for a while. They can
keep with their momentum because Great American Bash is not a strong pay-per-view. So we'll see. But
we'll see.
I remember I gave my prediction was like 2 weeks after Great American Bash. Like if it's after that, then it's like all right. But what you got for Champions of the Week? Because that was the boutique.
Take us back up to the flagship show when Chad Gable came out to make the save for Rey Mysterio after Rey Mysterio was demasked.
Mm-hmm.
This is the WWF World Wrestling Federation, not the World Wildlife Fund.
Yeah.
No Mercy run-in animation title, Chad Gable.
Yep.
Because I'm sure you've played any Nintendo 64.
Yep. No Mercy specifically classic.
Yeah, when they used to come in,
we're
whether
old.
it be like
we're old.
Royal Rumble, run-ins and whatnot from the aisleway.
Yeah.
Chad Gable had that exact same run-in when he came in running for to make the save for Rey Mysterio afterwards. And
yeah, for
every time I watch that clip, it just reminds me of, especially the way that Chad Gable is just like muscly built.
Yeah,
it just looked like WWF No Mercy. Just like I'm running into the Royal Rumble.
Arms, like
like that's just count as a compliment, Chad. Please, if you ever watch this, count it as a compliment. But it's just like, bro, you are so built, bro. I need that workout routine.
Right.
We need to have that. We need to put it up on there one day as a poll. It's like, who's the workout routine in WWE?
Drew McIntyre,
in wrestling, period, that you would want.
Drew McIntyre, Chad, Brian Cage,
Montez,
and
Pac.
I was gonna say Megan Bain, or like who's the big girl that showed up on NXT? I don't know her name yet. but
Maya
she's
Lockwood.
huge. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But hey, join us next week on our 102 Dalmatians episode here on this channel. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Dalmatians? I thought
There
was
is.
only 101.
No, there's 102.
Yeah, there's 101
Yeah.
and 102.
No, 103. I checked last week. But
No, you said there wasn't.
there's not 103. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's not 103. But yeah, join us here next week on 102 Dalmatians episode. Like, comment, subscribe, and send us an email at thewrestlingrehab@gmail.com. We will see y'all.
We'll be recovering from this next championship.
Yep. Yeah.
Peace.